नमस्कार। आप सबकी कुशलता की कामना करते हुए हम सीधे अपने टॉपिक पे आते हैं बेटा। तो जैसा कि yesterday we have started the new lesson, that is anatomy of the flowering plants, in which we have to talk about the different types of the tissues and different anatomical parts of the plants which can be necessary for the development of any plant, in which we are talking about the types of tissues, in which first of all we have talked about the meristems or meristematic tissues, right? And and their classification on the basis of their function, on the basis of their origin, they are found in the different plants. Let's move to another topic, the second topic, that is called the permanent tissue. First of all, we have to know why these are known as permanent tissue. Generally we have to know that the meristematic cells continue to differentiate and lose their ability to divide. Means after the when these meristematic cells can be loses their ability to divide, in that particular condition we can say that the mature or the permanent cells means which are developed into the plant, and we can say the permanent tissues actually composed of the cells in which the growth has been stopped. Means especially these tissues, permanent tissues, can indicate that the growth of the plant is now stopped now, right? So these are known as, evenly we can say, the permanent tissues having all cells similar in structure and functions, right? So they are called the simple tissue or simple permanent tissue. And while they have the some different kinds of structures and different kinds of the another type of which are made of different kinds of the cells, they are known as the complex tissue. As you can see, like the simple permanent tissue, generally they can compose with only one type of homologous cells what are performing the same function also. But on the other hand, the complex permanent tissue which can be composed by the more than one types of the cells, and they may be for the different kinds of the functions in the plants. If we can talk about the classification of the permanent tissues, as you can see, especially in case of the simple permanent tissues, there are three categories are found over there, that is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. On the other hand, the complex permanent tissues, that is xylem and the phloem, are found over there. Means these are the both are the permanent tissue. Generally, simple permanent tissue, as I have already told you, that they are always made up of the same kind of cells. Means functionally and structurally they are the same one, right? So they are the simple permanent. On the other hand, the complex permanent xylem and phloem can play the different kinds of role. They are the different types of cells. They are made up with more than one kinds of cells. So they are known as the complex permanent tissues. So first of all, we have to talk about the simple permanent tissue, in which we have to talk about the parenchyma. Means this parenchyma tissues can play a very important role for the plants, especially if we can say about the parenchyma, that this parenchyma is a living and simple permanent tissue composed of the thin walled cells. Especially we can say they are sometimes also known as the primary tissue or ground tissue. Evenly we can say the inside the parenchyma, the presence of the cortex, pith, palisade, mesophyll cells and some other kinds of parts of the flower are also found over there. And we can say especially this permanent tissue are found in all these parts, means cortex, pith, palisade, mesophyll cells and some parts of the flower also. This permanent tissue or especially parenchyma is found over there. We can say the most of the ground tissue which can be produced over there, they can be always helpful for the different plant organs. We can say means the permanent parenchyma forms the major part of the plant tissues, means maximum part of the plant organs is made up of with the help of the this parenchymatous tissue, right? And we can say the cells are thin walled, right? We can say generally the structures of this parenchymatous tissue, we can say the cells are generally thin walled, they are less spherical and the polyhedral in structure of the shape, right? Means generally if we can draw on the such structures like this one, not too much structure over there, so this is type of structure is found over there of these cells which are going to develop up such type of tissues. And we can say the cell wall composed by the cellulose, means the cell's outermost layer which is composed with the help of the cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin, right? So we can say generally this is the main thing about in there. And if you can just see about the intracellular space between them, right, there is a very less or enormous, you can say no intracellular space is found over there, so you can understand easily with them. Intracellular space means the space between the two cells, like this one means if you can see the space which can be seen showing with the help of this greenish color, this is not an intracellular, because this is a cell, this is cell, this is cell, and between there is a very minute or you can say generally negligible intracellular space is found, or you can say no intracellular space is found over there. So that's why they are completely and compactly packed to each other. And we can say the cells have a large central vacuoles and peripheral cytoplasm with the conspicuous big nucleus also, means they can be also found over there, they can show such structures in that particular conditions over there. And if we want to details studies about this type of tissues, we can say generally these tissues have some other characters on the basis of which they can be again classified in different categories also, right? So you can just see the structure of this permanent tissues like this one, right? So if we can say especially about there some other things, means how on the basis of some different features this permanent tissue can be classified in some other category also. There is a special tissue that is called chlorenchyma. Chlorenchyma, especially the tissue this is found in the plants which can be perform the photosynthesis, means perform photosynthesis, it means that it contains chlorophyll, means when the cells of this simple permanent tissues contains the chlorophyll and they can capable to do the photosynthesis process, so they are known as chlorenchyma. On the other hand, these tissue are another classified that is called the parenchyma. Parenchyma means generally we can say they can form a connected air system throughout the entire plant, means with the help of this parenchymatous tissue the whole plant can be connected with the airy space between them. Due to this parenchyma, generally plant can capable to have some buoyancy in their structures. On the other hand, we can say storage parenchyma means if the parenchymatous tissue which can capable to perform for the storage of sugar, protein, granules, oil drops, so on, so they are, that is known as storage parenchyma, because the main function of the parenchyma is to store the different substances, right? So we can say they can choose the such structures. Evenly the xylem parenchyma, this xylem parenchyma can always help for the conduction of the water. One fluent parenchyma which can always help for the translocations of the food, means transfer of the food from one part to another part, one place to another place. On the other hand, there is another one more type of stellate parenchyma. It can have a specific structure that is called the star-shaped structures, right? Which can be large vacuoles, means you can just see this such structures, means you can just find this structure is a structure of the generally the stellate parenchymatous tissue, because it can show a star shaped structure like this, and it has also a large vacuole inside this, right? So this is its main thing, so we can understand about it. Then we have to know about the function of this parenchymatous tissues, means how this parenchymatous tissue can be perform its activities, right? For that we have to know that the different functions of this parenchyma. The first we can say they can always helpful for the storage of the food and water and air, as I have told you, storage parenchyma, right? We can know that the vital activity like the photosynthesis, means very necessary activities are for the plants, that is we can say the photosynthesis, respiration, conduction of different substances inside the tissue. It can be also with the help of the parenchymatous tissue, right? If the plant get any wounds, it can be always helpful for the wound healing, grafting, right? And these can also capable to provide the buoyancies in the aquatic plants, means they can capable to float in the water, they can capable to easily float inside the water, because of that parenchymatous tissue, because that can be always capable to provide these them, for that they can be float on the water, buoyancy. We can also say the parenchyma cells associated with xylem and phloem help in the conduction of water and food materials, right? We generally in that characters it can be also found over there, means generally xylem and phloem helping conduction of water and the food material over there. Means it can generally xylem can always conduct the water one, and the phloem can always helpful for the conduction of the food one in the plants. On the other hand, we can see the another one, that is most important thing, that we can say especially that they can always helpful for the differentiated acquires the power of the divisions to form the secondary meristems which produce secondary tissues. Means with the help of their differentiations they can be capable to provide for the secondary tissues, right? So this is the main functions of the simple permanent tissue, that is called the parenchyma. Let's move to another one, that is called the collenchyma. Collenchyma, especially as we can just get the meaning of this collenchyma, especially if you can find that the meaning of cola, that is the glue, right? And if we can say enchyma, that is called infusion, means they can tightly attachment over there, so we can say such tissues are found over there. And again we can say the living these are the living mechanical tissues, and generally they can composed of more or less elongated cells with a thick and primary lignified walls one. And generally if we can say the intracellular space is again absent between their structures, right? If we can talk about the characteristics of the collenchyma, that we can say especially it is present in layer below the epidermis in the dicotyledonous plants, right? And we can say it found in the either homogeneous layer or in the patches like structures. Collenchyma consists of cells which are much thickened at the corners, means if we can see in the structures, they can be at their corners, they are very thickened one, right? So they can be found over that particular structures. Means if we can draw the structures like this, they can be this one, this way, right? So they can be attaching like this way, so their corners, these spaces can shows a very thick structure over there. And we can say generally the collenchyma as its end, or we can say it is on its corners, they are the thickened, right? Why they are thickened at their corners? Because if we can say that the structures especially like this one, right, they are thicker at their corners over there. Why? Because generally the deposition of this cellulose, right, and the hemicellulose and the pectin, as in the parenchyma I have told you that their outer layer can be always developed or made up of with the help of all cellulose, hemicellulose, and this pectin one. In the same way, here we can say that their corners are thicker because they can be developed or because of depositions of the large amount of cellulose, hemicellulose, and the pectin, right? And if we can talk about their cells, they may be oval shape, spherical shape, or polygonal shape, and often sometimes generally these can capable to contain the chloroplast, right? And these cells assimilates food when they contain chloroplast. Generally, when they were this chloroenchyma contains the chlorophyll or the chloroplast or plastids, in that particular time they can capable for the synthesis of the food in the plants one. If we can say, if on the basis of the pectinations, mean the deposition of the pectin, they can be classified in different categories, especially the angular collenchyma, lamellar collenchyma, and lacunar collenchyma. This way they can be found over. And if we can say the functions of the collenchymatous tissues, generally, right, as you can see, especially these collenchyma tissues can perform very well in the plants. We can say these can capable to provide mechanical support to the growing plants, right? Or we can say, or the young stems or young petiole of the leaves, means जो नया नया प्लांट ग्रो करता है उसको मैकेनिकल सपोर्ट देता था, स्टेम को भी, और लीफ की जो पेटियोल होता है उसको भी मैकेनिकल सपोर्ट देता है. इवनली दिस collenchyma कैन ऑल्सो कैपेबल टू डू द फोटोसिंथेसिस, right, process in the plants one. Evenly, the most important thing, that mechanical supports, we can say this can able to provide strength as well as the flexibility to the organ of the plants, right? So they can easily to bend at their places in that particular conditions. Let's move to our next topic, that is called scleral. If we talk about the sclerenchymatic tissues, generally they have some specific structures in that particular conditions. We can say that these tissues can also some different from the parenchyma and the collenchyma. Means we can say the sclerenchyma, they are the harder tissues, we can say, means because they can consist of long narrow cells with thick and lignified cell walls. Generally they have such structures due to which they are become very hard one. Or evenly if we can talk in Greek, the sclerus means the hard one, and enchyma means that is, we can say, an infusion. And whenever the hard substance can be used, and that is known as sclerenchyma, right? And if we talk about the characteristics of these sclerenchymatic tissues, they can be specially called or known as that these are have the dead cells which cannot do not do any type of functions. It means the cells of these sclerenchymatic cell tissue cannot do or cannot perform any metabolic function. They are the dead one. Evenly we can say they possess the hard and extremely thick secondary walls, so uniform deposition of the lignin. As well as we can say the cells are long and short and narrow, thick walled and lignified. And at the last we can say they are the different types of lignin deposition also have the pits one, right? As we all have seen the structures in a box, right? You know that on the there such structures, they can be classified into two categories, right? Means they have the two types of cells that can is known as fiber cells and the sclerate cells. If we can talk about the sclerate cells, they are known as the stone cells, right? Generally the sclerates, they are the short, irregular, spherical, oval and cylindrical, we can say, sclerenchymatous cells. The walls are very thick and their shape is irregular, and the lumen is very narrow. Lumen means there is a space between them, right? That is also a very narrow one. And if we talk about the walls, their walls have the so many pits in them, right? and these commonly found in the fruit walls of the nuts, pulp, and the fruit one, like guava, pear, and spota, and seed coats of the legumes are leaves of the tea one. Means these such structures are found over there. Means generally the sclerenchymatous tissue which is made up with the help of sclerites, they can found in such plants. Evenly, if we can talk about the fibers, the fibers cells are thick walled, elongated, pointed, right? In that conditions, if we want to draw the such structures in that particular conditions, the fibers cells like this one, right, over this one, and there should be slightly pits are found over there between them. Okay, so we can say this is the wall, thick wall, right? And these are the narrow lumen, as I told, this is the narrow lumen. And on the other hand, if we talk about the sclerotic diagram, you can just draw like this outermost structure, and here from here you can draw like this. In this skeleton, this is the lumen. Okay, so these are the structures of these fibers as well as the lumen. As we are talking about the fibers, as I told you that they have the thick walled, elongated and pointed cells. As you can just, these are the pointed cells over there, these are the pointed cells, right? So, and they are generally occurring in groups in the various parts of the plants. So this way they can capable to do the such work. And if we talk about their functions, if we can talk about their such structures functions, in that conditions we can say they can always do the functions or perform the different functions, that especially the sclerenchymatous tissues can provide the mechanical strength and the support, right? And as well as they can also can help the surface fibers help in the dispersal of the seeds. Means they can have such structures due to which they can easily can do the such performance in the plants, in the different parts of the plants one, right? As you can just see their structures, right? You can just see the pits like structures, or the especially they are made up with the help of sclerites type of structures over here, and they do not have the fibrous one. So we can say generally this sclerites, it may be the cell of the nuts, right, pulp or the fruits. If you have seen especially the outer covering of the nut, especially coconut, right? So it is made up of a very fibrous one. So we can say that is the because of the it is made up of with the help of the sclerenchymatous tissue. So it is very harder one in that particular part, in that particular conditions. So you can understand about this one. So students, as today we have talked only about the simple permanent tissues, in which we have talked about the parenchyma, collenchyma and the sclerenchyma, right? So you don't confuse between the parenchyma had two types, that especially six type, that is chlorenchyma, arenchyma, right, storage parenchyma, xylem parenchyma, phloem parenchyma and steroid parenchyma, right? And the other one, the collenchyma, can be classified on the basis of their pectinizing of the cell walls. There are angular collenchyma, lamellar collenchyma and leucanar collenchyma. But if we talk about only that sclerenchyma, they are only one type, but they have made up with the two types of cells, that is fibers and sclerites, which can do the different kinds of functions. Sometimes their functions can be asked, sometimes their arrangement can be asked, sometimes their slides can be asked in the different examinations. So students, you must read them properly and understand about them. So tomorrow we will try to start our next topic, that is the complex permanent tissues in the plant and their functions. So this way we will move continuously to our coming topics. So students, you must try to make your notes properly and sincerely. Thank you.